All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media, and my name is Judson Powell. I tried to do this one a couple of days ago, but the sound messed up. I was like, man, and I don't know what I did wrong. Anyway, it was something I did, but I don't know what it was. But anyway, my name is Judson Powell. I am the CEO of KHEPRii Television. KHEPRii Television, KHEPRii spelled KHEPRii. It has two I's on the end, right? KHEPRii with two I's. And either go to the website, which is just Khepriitv.com, or you can go to Roku. And I prefer you do that. If you have a Roku device, just add us to your device. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. Just go there, bam, Roku device. Anyway, all right, enough of the shameless plugs. I want to talk about why we can't get along and can't get together. And so this is my story about what happened the first day that I got on this one social media app, right? So I get on this app because, frankly, I was like Jonathan Owens. I had no identity, right? Anyway, I guess I still don't. Either way, so I get on this app, and immediately this lady comes out of the woodwork and starts attacking me. She's like, you ain't ish, you ain't this, you ain't that, blah, 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 blah. I was like, whoa. Because in my mind, once again, I look at myself as being like a good guy. When it got, I ain't saying I've been perfect all my life. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like in the final analysis, I'm not out there trying to mess you over or nothing like that. Okay, that's just not my personality. That's not how I am. So I guess it just kind of threw me aback because I wasn't expecting for that to go on. So then at first I was like, I should just go ahead and just block her, whatever. But I didn't, because I was just like, maybe, let me see what she's talking about. And then the next thing I thought, I said, well, let me see who's on her friends list, right? Or what's in the comments or what's on the friends list or whatever. So I'm going through, and I find this lady on there, and she has a site and everything, like just bashing black men. And I'm like, whoa, and she's on there talking about, how she'll be single forever, and she hates, these disgusting N-word. It's like there's a tirade of all of this stuff, right? So anyway, to make a long story short, I'm just like, I'm like in complete disbelief, all right? So now, guys, I can't let the guys get off scot-free either, though, because we went through the whole, what was it? The whole, what's the name of it? Passport Bro. Like, we went through all this whole thing about the Passport Bros. And look, us older guys, we've been trying to explain to you, younger guys, that a woman, if you are a heterosexual male, and and I'm not trying to make this about your genders and all that kind of stuff. I just want to say, but if you're a heterosexual male, you trying to get women or whatever, you got to understand, you can't just be trying to get women. You got to be, first of all, you got to be trying to get a wife. That's what. So when your boy was talking about, yeah, I want a Coretta Scott King, da 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 da, but that's a wife. So if you're just going there, to sow your wild oats, okay. Whatever. That's on your moral, that's on your moral compass. Not, I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. You got to pay for that. Either way, right? So, with that being said, so the guys were like basically saying the same thing, and then we got this whole inner working thing where it's like they're talking about like, well, black men don't protect black women, and then there was like the undercurrent, that black women don't give black men anything that they can actually respect and want to wife. Okay, so now I can only speak to one level. See, that's what I'm trying. I can only speak to one level, and that the only level that there's really any rules on is marriage. Because pretty much in every sect of people, whatever, there are rules. There's some kind of social norm or something to marriage, right? Everybody may not do it the same way. The ceremonies may not be the same way, but at the end of the road, right? There's this family or the start of a family, and whatever. And then in other communities, however that gets started, because I'm not an expert, but however that gets started, there is a genesis to everything, right? But if you're out there, and I'm talking to the men now, if you're out there and all you're trying to do is get a couple girls that you can hit right quick, then you don't need relationship advice. And if you're not married, you don't need relationship advice. You need the only time that you should meet up with anybody for any reason in that capacity, if you are in a certain wheelhouse, right? The only reason to meet up with that person is because you want to get married. Especially after you get to a certain age. You ain't got time. You ain't got time to date. And if you're trying to build a marriage, and you're trying to build a family, and you're trying to build a financially stable wealth building type deal, well, then you gotta put some effort into it. It's not just gonna just jump out at you. You got to put some effort into it. And see, I think that, and that's why they keep trying to connect us at this least common denominator, which even when you look at things like your chakra energy and all that kind of stuff, everything in the world is designed to push you right back down to your lower energy, to your lower self. Every single thing, pretty much. So you have to, so you're in search of the high vibration though. That's what you're in search of. What's going to take me higher? What is going to vibrate me higher? Right? But that ain't what everybody is looking for. In fact, most of y'all don't know what the hell y'all looking for. Or you got a list of demands that don't meet your whole thing. Yeah, it might be a dream, but you got to meet people where they at. And that's what being married, look, that's also part of what being married is all about, because as you go through time, what do you learn? You learn about that person. Because people are complex. You don't just meet somebody, do the nasty, and then all of a sudden you got, it's a connection forever. That's the person you want to wake up next to every day. That's the person that like, I enjoy my wife's company. I just enjoy her company. I like talking to her. She's smart. I dig just sitting there talking to her. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to get you to the point of, look, stop judging everything, according to what's going on in your lower self and at your low vibrational points. Because everything, like the stuff that gets you into your low vibrational points, into your stuff, it should not be life-changing decision stuff. It should be, I watched a movie and it got me in my feelings. Or I watched, or I listened to some music and it, that's how come those things are spiritual. Yeah, and it's funny because, see, I was gonna do this the other day and I didn't. Well, I did it, and then, like I said, the sound messed up. But you gotta stop thinking in terms of like people are meat and start thinking of people as human beings. That's why, look, and when they really talk about interracial marriages and all that kind of stuff, that's why they take place. Because we're so different that we can understand each other, because people treat us different because we are different. It's our differences. That's why I've been meditating. I've been telling everybody, and I don't say a lot. I just be like, look, meditate on world peace and diversity. And this is what set me into that thing, is because when I thought about it and I thought about diversity, and then like we sit up here and like we're programming this TV station, and so so we're like watching a whole bunch of stuff. Like, it's like my watch load is like through the roof, right? I'm watching everything. People are sending me tapes, all kinds of stuff, right? Okay. So my watch load and my download, and that's another thing. And I'm constantly looking at stuff, right? Because I care, number one, but the one thing that it's taught me is like there's so much diversity in everything, because our musical side is more geared towards R&B more so than it is hip hop, right? But there are, of course, all of it's gonna mesh in at certain times, but it's supposed to give a certain vibe. We want KHEPRii music to have a certain vibe to it. So we spend time trying to figure out what, videos that we can play that are gonna make that vibe. But what we discovered when going into R&B is that there is so much diversity. You got people, because of technology and because because of that microcosm inside of technology, that people that would have been afraid in regular society to go out and like chill with somebody from another race or another creed or another color or whatever, but through technology they can do that and nobody would know the difference. So while we look at certain things like splitting us up, but there are certain things that are bringing us closer together. So think about it. You got to either you're married or you're not. And all of the other stuff is mental masturbation in between, because it ain't doing you no good. Okay, so y'all have 1,000 fights about this, that, the other thing. Just build a bigger house and let them have they whatever in their house, right? It ain't that, it ain't that scientific, y'all. You got to get from being in your lower nature. If you're still in your lower nature, it don't matter where you go to find a wife. It don't matter where you go to find a husband, because that's not your mindset. You have to, we always talking about manifesting. Well, that's part of the deal with manifesting. Before you manifest anything, what do you got to do? You got to believe. In fact, even in the scriptures, you have to believe that it already exists. That it already exists, even before you start your first footstep towards it. You got to believe in your mind that it exists. So, but that ain't gonna come through a date. It's not. Stop dating people. Get married. Fastest 15 minutes or so.